Alright, welcome to our blog entry today about customizing your web page. Last time we looked at options for updating your WordPress version and updating your plugin versions so that you have the latest WordPress, the latest plugins to make sure everything works correctly with the theme you're using whenever you begin working with it. You can mouse over the appearance option on the left hand side, and this will let you deal with your theme, which shows you the visual representation of what your website looks like when people load it from the internet. Their browsers should show things similarly. There are some things that don't always work with all browsers. This column may not be in the right place in a particular browser. Some of these text options, the color may be looking different in a browser. You need to check the theme across as many browser platforms as you can before you start putting a lot of time into it, just to make sure it looks like you want it to look in most of the browsers that people would use, such as Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari. Those are major players in the browser market out there. Okay, this particular theme I'm using is Copyblogger, and it was developed by Chris Pearson. Kudos to Chris Pearson for the Copyblogger theme. Options for customizing this theme include the customize link to change the title of the site and tag line of the site, then widgets, menus, and menu bar. Customize is pretty simple. When you click customize, it allows you to drop down some options here to change the title, which is what appears up here, and to change the tagline, which mine does not show up because I have something else there. This would show up just as text underneath or right beside 10 minutes or less if I didn't have something in its place. The static front page option to show latest post or just be a static page can be changed here. One of the things you can do in WordPress is to make one single page that just has the face of your website that you want everyone to see by default. That is a static page, and you can set that for your blog. If you want your latest post to appear, obviously you choose that option. Then over here we have options for widgets. Widgets are little pieces of code that do something. Most of these are, in WordPress at least, you are given the option of putting these on a sidebar. Over here are all your widgets, and they can be placed on a sidebar. Right now I have a single sidebar. And to place these things on your sidebar, you just drag them to that sidebar, drop them, and then type in whatever it is that you want to specify for the options for that particular widget. This widget for categories actually shows the categories of your posts on the sidebar. I don't want that right now, but anyway. Pages, whatever pages you have in your website, you can drag that to the sidebar, and it will list links to the pages that you have in your website, in your WordPress blog. I have a TubePress plugin which works with this version of WordPress and this theme, so I can actually drag this to my sidebar and display a kind of listing of videos depending on my TubePress options. So that's some things you can do with widgets. Menus, whenever you look at a website and you see a menu bar up here, or perhaps you see a menu bar up above everything. This one on 10 minutes or less is below the heading and my buttons to connect with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or the RSS feed. This is another website that I work on for a parenting class, and it has the menu at the top. Regardless of your desire, you can customize the menu to appear in different places. Sometimes you have to go so far as edit the page, the PHP page that contains that, but with this particular theme you can just come here, type in menu. Most of the time main is one that we create. I'll call this one main 2 so I don't write over something I already have. You click create from within here, and then you can begin to add things. Now this one is really easy. Here I can type www.cnn.com. I can tell this particular link that I'm creating what I want its name to be, CNN News, and then I can click add to menu, and it'll pop up over here on my menu. I can customize this to change it to something else later on, or just remove it if I want. And you probably want to put a title attribute in here also, just for SEO purposes, especially if it's pages within your site. Then these are pages within my site that I've created separately. I can check those, and I can say add to menu, and they will show up in that listing. And what this will create is this menu bar you see across the top. I already have mine, so I'm not going to write over it. However, you can create menus and put them in different places. You can have a sidebar menu. You can have a menu that appears at the bottom of a page. You can have a text menu that appears across a page. This particular website is a context-driven menu. When I go to look at a post on this particular page, this was set up so that I can see a kind of contextual, kind of breadcrumb navigation thing where I can go back to where I just came from, but it also lists where I currently am. So those are some options for customizing menus. You also have a menu bar, which is typically the name for, depending on the plugins you use, typically the name for the specific menu bar that appears at the top of the home page, like this menu bar or this menu bar. A menu is just a list of options, could be anything. A menu bar is the one that goes all the way across the page, that's typically at the top or near the top of a website's home page. This is a menu bar plugin that I use, and this one has my particular menu entries, home and I want a blog. For right now, those appear on my page, home and I want a blog. So those are some options you can use given that you have installed this particular plugin and given that it works with the theme that you currently have installed. You can also go to the editor. If you're very good at some HTML, CSS, PHP, you can come into the editor and you can actually type in some code to edit whatever it is that you're doing directly within the HTML itself or PHP or CSS. I don't recommend this for new users. I typed my comment wrong there. I'm in the wrong thing. But if you have some skill with this and you're able to edit some of these things, you can go ahead and type things in the way you want right here. And you will be able to click on the option at the bottom of the screen to update the file. It will save your changes. You can go back and refresh your web page just like we used to do editing HTML with Notepad back in the day. And you can see those changes as you go and customize. Those are some options for customizing. I'll have a few more as we go along, particularly digging into the CSS. I understand what that is and where those things go within all of these mini files in a theme for a WordPress blog. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to check out our other videos on 10minutesless.com or our YouTube channel. And keep up with what's going on as we move ahead in understanding how this magnificent beast of a WordPress engine works to display these web pages. Thanks for stopping by.